Well, hello, Glue Troopers. Max of Max's Models here. I want to thank everyone who made the live stream. I hope you had some fun. So after it was over, I was looking at the models I had here on the shelf, and one of them that caught my eye was the Bandai M20/21. And I was thinking, general aviation is a genre of aircraft I feel that doesn't get a lot of attention. And a lot of people really aren't that familiar with the airplane unless, of course, they're into general aviation. Now, the Moonies are famous for being extremely fuel efficient, very fast for their power, and able to get some of the best economy of any light aircraft. But, of course, this comes about at a cost. As is so often said, there are no solutions, only trade-offs. And in the case of the Mooney, you pay for that speed and economy with an extremely tight cockpit. You can get 4 people on the airplane, but they're going to be real close friends when they land. The Mooney series came from the fertile mind of a self-taught engineer named Al Mooney, who in 1946, right after World War II, came out with his adorable little Mooney Mite, very popular single-seater, which grew eventually into a 4-seater. The M20 was basically the primary airplane. The M21 was more or less the same airplane with a bigger engine. They wound up starting with a 150 horsepower engine going up to a 180, and when they finally got up to the 200 horse and redesigned the airplane, that became the Mooney 201, thus named because it could fly 201 miles an hour. But this kit is of the earlier M20 airframe. One of the biggest differences between the M20 and the M21 is there was some wood and fabric in the M20, and the M21 was all metal. First M20 came out in 1955. They made some improvements, so that by 1958 it was the M20A. The Mark 20A was replaced with the Mark 21. As I mentioned, the Mark 21 was all metal. And variants of the Mark 21 series, including one called the Executive 21, were in production up until about 1972, when they were all replaced by the redesigned 201. So with that brief history of the airplane, let's look at the Bandai kit. The instruction sheet is the fold-out type. It has the box art on top with a photograph of a real airplane and a smaller window below it, and shows that it's the Super 21 or M20E in 1/48 scale. Flip it over on the back, you see an idea of how it could be painted, where the numbers would go if it was in Japanese registration. You get a runner tree map and a diagram of how the stand operates. The first panel shows you how to put the people together. These look like the same people that came with the Bonanza that I built by Bandai. Pilot, a mechanic, and 2 people walking up. And they're actually very nice. You start off by putting the cockpit together, putting the pilot in, putting the instrument panel together, and then putting the fuselage halves together with it inside. One thing I like is that the windows go in from the outside, so if you want to paint the airplane and then put the windows in, you should be able to. It's all pretty straightforward after that, building the engine, the landing gears, and putting it all together. There's really not a whole lot to explain. It's pretty clear instructions. I would note, though, that although it comes with a nicely detailed engine, the airplane, I'll almost guarantee, if it's like the Bonanza, it's a tail sitter, so you're going to have to replace the engine with something heavy, some sort of counterweight, unless you're going to glue it down or put a stand on the bottom. This is one option in how you can paint the airplane, but of course you can simply access the internet to see any number of different paint schemes. The fuselage halves look good. 1/48 scale is a nice scale for an airplane like this, not too big, not too small, and they look pretty clean. Same can be said for the upper and lower wing sections. Again, very clean moldings. I don't anticipate any problems with them. These are the people, as I mentioned earlier. I think that they're very well rendered, and they paint up very nicely. It's hard to find civilian people this detailed in 1/48 scale. The stand is pretty straightforward. You snip off that little part sticking out of the indentation and simply glue it into the top of the post. The model goes on top of it. Here are all the other parts, the engine parts, which again, I think you're going to need a weight for the nose, so you may not be able to put the engine in there. But in this particular airplane, the forward cylinders are visible, so you may have to engineer something if you want that to look right and sit on its nose with a counterweight. Lastly, of course, you have the decal sheet, which has independent letters on it. Both American and Japanese registrations are possible. And then you have the clear parts, which look okay. I do not anticipate any problems building this airplane. I hope to get to it fairly soon. What I'm going to have to figure out is, do I want to put a stand underneath it? Do I want to glue it to a base? Do I want to put it up on the stand? Or do I want to try and weight the nose? The engine is detailed enough that you could make a nice maintenance mechanic checking the airplane type diorama, and it does come with a mechanic with a wrench in his hand, so there's that option out there. Either way, these are pretty routine things for model building. I'm happy to see that somebody has made a model of the airplane. There are a few other Mooney models out there, but not very many. I'm relatively certain you'll spend far more time painting and detailing this model than you will actually building it, because it's a pretty straightforward build. When I built the Bonanza, I did have a little trouble getting the cowling to close around it, so I'm not sure how this will fare. That's definitely something that's going to have to be pre-fitted. Personally, I think the Mooney looks pretty squat when it's on the ground. It has a very short landing gear. In fact, I've been told by several Mooney pilots, although I have not flown one myself, that the airplane sits so low to the ground that it has a tendency to float on a cushion of air. Sometimes landing it can be a little tricky. Plus, it's a very clean, a little bit of a slippery airplane. So I think this one will probably look better with just the pilot inside it and the landing gear up on the stand. Knowing me, I might want to make a clear disc spinny prop for it just to sort of complete the illusion. But whatever I decide to do with it, I'm perhaps foolishly anticipating a relatively easy build, and the more complicated part being detailing it. Although, since it doesn't come with any decal stripes, I might go ahead and mask it off and paint a pattern on it. One quick side note, it's a bit of an optical illusion. Everybody thinks the Mooney has a swept forward tail. The leading edge of the tail is actually straight up and down vertical, and of course the trailing edge is sloped back, creating the illusion the tail is swept forward, but in fact it's just a straight leading edge, goes straight up. It does not lean forward. Well, that's a quick look at the Bandai 1/48 scale Mooney M20 21. I believe the mold for this kit was originally made in 1973, with the molds going to Revell in 1982. Bandai did rebox it at some point in the 70s, but I believe this is the only Mooney M20 21 kit. There are some kits of the Mooney Mite, and there was a model of the M20J, a much later version of the airplane, in 1/72nd scale from VFR models that came out in 2021. Well, that's what I have on the Mooney. I hope to get on this one before too long. You guys take care of yourselves, and as always, model on.